everyone, welcome back to the Limit of Adhesion. This is Patrik Outericky, otherwise known as SimpleSimGuy Racing on YouTube. His iRating is over 3k and he's done that entirely through racing the Skip Barber. And this is me, Gareth Winslade, a 1.4k meat bag from Sector 7G.
Excellent.
We used to race the Skippy back in Season 2 of the LOA, and I've always enjoyed the car, so I thought it would be fun to get Patrik to do some sessions on some tracks and then me to do the same. So here are our results at Donington National, Laguna Seca, Road Atlanta and Suzuka. As you would expect, Patrik thrashed me, but after watching what he did and applying it to my own driving, here is my improvement at each track after just one session. I've condensed that learning into the following 6 tips. They won't necessarily make you as fast as Patrik, but they will put you on the right path to mastering the Skip. It's certainly made the car a lot less of a stressful wrestling match for me. So here we go with tip 1. Turn off auto blip. The real Skip Barber RT2000 required small throttle lifts to change up a gear and heel and toe pedal action to change down. You don't necessarily need to do that on iRacing, but you will gain time by turning off auto blip and incorporating lift shifting or some form of clutch work into your driving. To demonstrate just how much time this can be worth, I've brought the Skip to a secret location in Europe for a test. Here we go then, auto blip versus clutch, first to the bridge wins. Both runs done in the same session. I drove around the track to the straight, I did the auto blip run, then changed the gears and then back round for the clutch run. As fair as I could manage. As you can see, using the clutch is quicker. Now obviously not all straights are as long as this, but the gain will be worth it across a race distance. Tip 2. Braking. Now I freely admit that I got myself in the right muddle with this before. I kept trying to brake really late to try and minimise the time off power. But the Skippy is a momentum car, and the correct way to handle a momentum car is to try and carry speed. So how do we do that? Well, you bring your braking markers back away from the corner, brake with less pressure to keep the car stable, and then arrive at the corner with the maximum possible speed to safely make it through the corner. Let's check out some examples. This is the chicane at Road Atlanta. First, how not to do it. Way too late on the brakes, struggling to get the car rotated and slow on the power on the way out. Now here is Patrik. He brakes on the normal, non-skippy braking marker and look how much quicker he is on exit. Here's another example into Spoon at Suzuka. Again, he does all the work on the entry to the first apex and sets himself up for a fast blast to 130R. A brilliant example would be the old hairpin at Donington. Added benefit here is that the car is much more stable and less prone to a spin through here if you bring your braking back away from the corner. So really think about where you were braking and be nice and gentle on that pedal, which brings us nicely onto tip 3, downshifting. Now that you've turned off auto blip, you can't just pull the paddle to shift, but you can while braking. From watching a lot of Patrik's laps, I noticed that he is very quick to make the first and even the second shift down the gears the moment he is on the brakes. Get all of your downshifts done in the braking phase of the corner. This isn't like the Formula Renault 2.0 where your final downshift is right before you start accelerating out of the corner. Do it all before the corner and get ready for tip 4, coasting. Do you remember the Top Gear segment where Richard Hammond drove the Renault F1 car? The engineer chiding him for being slow between being on the throttle and the brakes always stuck with me, but it did set me up for a world of hurting in my sim racing, especially in the Skip. This all goes back to what we said earlier about the car being a momentum car. Your job in each corner is to find the fastest speed the car will go through the corner before you apply the throttle again. This is critical because if you accelerate at the wrong moment, you'll get a lot of understeer which will slow you down. And messing with the brakes and gears mid-corner will also slow you down and might cause a spin. Patrik does use some trail braking to get car rotation started, as you can see here, but after that it's all about coasting through the corner until the apex and acceleration again. The great thing about coasting as well is you're putting all of your focus into steering the car perfectly through the corner before you accelerate, so you tend to get a better line and go faster through the corner. All of these turning tips can be summarised into focusing on your corner entry more than your exits. As I was learning these and experimenting with my braking and corner speed, I could see from my relative that sometimes I was losing a lot to my previous best efforts on corner entry. But by the time I got to the apex and started accelerating, I was gaining more than double that time back on the exit of the corner. And once I found the optimal speed for me on corner entry, I gained even more time. Tip 5. Minimise the slides. As you may have noticed already, the Skip is fitted with rather thin radial treaded tyres and the wings are basically decorative with no real aerodynamic benefit. On cold tyres the car will behave a little like Bambi on ice, but this can be alleviated by increasing your braking distances, lifting in some flat out corners and driving carefully. Once the car is fully up to temperature, you'll find that the car will still slide as the lateral forces exerted on the car overcome the tyre's grip. Now, as fun as sliding is, it will start costing you lap time, so make sure that you keep the sliding to a minimum and keep going fast forwards. Tip 6. Relax. Thinking back to how I drove the Skip, I would describe it as hustling the car and wrestling it. I was arriving into corners and trying to do everything super fast and using big steering inputs to correct whatever mess I had got myself into. It is an utterly exhausting and completely ridiculous way to drive any car really, but especially the Skip. Since I started adapting my driving to match Patrik's style, I found it to be a lot more relaxing. I've got more thinking time as I'm not trying to calm my jangling nerves after every crazy corner. This means I'm planning my entry to the next corner instead. I can take in more information about the car's handling, I can check on my opponents, and above all, I can enjoy my driving. So that's why tip 6 is to relax your approach. Calm it all down and you're going to go faster, and you'll be less stressed. And there you go, my 6 tips on how to go quick in the Skip Barber. Certainly nothing radical or revolutionary about them, but if you want to understand this car and start your pathway to top split and racing Patrik and the other guys up there, this is where it starts. A massive thank you to Patrik for his help in making this video. Please do go and give his channel SimpleSimGuy Racing a sub. Link is in the description. I hope you found this video useful. Please do like it if you did. Leave a comment or consider subscribing to our channel. You can also find us at limitofadhesion.com, on our Road and Oval Discord servers, or on our social media. Thanks for watching and see you next time.